Okay, recently I got asked by one of my students about how do I get like a curved edge going all the way around a block, say for example. The difficulty that students will have is, and I've just got a block here which is 500 by 500, and I've divided it using the line tool to quarter it up to put it into sixteenths. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw two circles to get like a curved edge. To help me with this, I'm just going to now rub away the things I don't need here because they will get in the way. So I want those two edges curved. I'm going to have a sort of a curved edge when I push-pull this. And I'm going to have to get rid of these along as well because otherwise that will stop me as I go. Yeah, get rid of that as well. Okay, and that's where that one's going to go. So I'm just going to get rid of these lines. These are all just kind of construction lines. Okay, let's try the first one. And the first one I'll be able to go right to the very end. So that's fine. Okay. What about the other one? Let's see what happens. Push pull. Can't go beyond that point. So I end up with a strange looking shape which hasn't got a proper corner. So to deal with this, what I'm going to be doing first of all is thinking about how I can make this middle bit a bit more curved. That's really simple. What I'll do is I will draw a box. This is 500 by 500 and I've drawn a cube which is 125 less on top and bottom. So that's 250 by 500. And what I've done on this, once again, I've divided this up into 16 segments and I've drawn 4 circles which snap to the edges really easily. What I'm now going to do is just delete away using those center points because that just really saves a lot of clicking. And what I'm going to do is just push-pull away the corners so that we end up with these lovely filleted edges. And this is going to become the sort of centerpiece for my block. And I'm going to be explaining that there are limitations to what you can do with this as well that I've found. Okay, let's go back to pan. Now we're going to be making a shape like this, and I've figured out a way of doing this. And you're going to be afterwards. What we're going to be doing is combining this with this to make a cube, basically, which has got curved edges. All edges will be curved. So how do I do this? I'm going to use the scenes. And I'm going to go above. Use the pan tool to come back. Just going to divide this up. It's just the quickest way. So it really helps if you're looking at things sometimes, if you look at them from above, because it just makes it look like a two-dimensional page, and SketchUp understands that better as well. Alright, that's, yeah, we're going to need to do the whole thing again, just like I did, and that's the way I built up the other square as well. Let's get rid of this, and I'm just going to orbit back. And I'm just going to erase what I don't need. Now I'm going to need some of this in a sec, but I think probably it's a good idea to do that now. So I'm going to do the same thing I did in the last video, which was to draw a line straight going up on the blue line. That's going to be 125 high because that's a quarter of 500. And what I'm going to do is to draw a circle along this if I can. No, I'm going to need to draw a box first. That's how I did it before. And I think I need to just orbit this a little bit to get the right angle to draw that square along my mast. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the circle tool and I'm going to snap that there. So now I've kind of got two shapes on two different axes, two different planes intersecting. I'm going to get rid of the things that I don't want, which is going to be, the way I did it actually before was it was actually in the other orientation, but I don't think it makes a difference whichever way that you do it. I'm also going to add this shape here. If I can just orbit again, really helps positioning on this program. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to be orbiting around. In fact, actually, I only need to go out this far, so I'll just go out this far and I'll get rid of that. There we go. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Okay, and I'm going to go orbit below and get rid of that entire semicircle. Orbit back up above. Shift, come over. Right, get rid of this. Now I want to keep the curved edges, so I'm getting rid of the corners, and I'm going to get rid of everything that I got rid of before. So I'm going to go back with the rubber or razor, get rid of all of these bits, make sure they're all gone, no lines to interrupt what I'm doing. Okay, and there we go. Oops, a bit too much there. Right, okay, so I'm going to select the base, get rid of that, and what we're going to try and do is to do a sort of a sweep going around this. We can start it that way. Yeah, it's probably best if we start it around that way. Press escape if it starts to do stuff like that. Be patient with this program sometimes. It takes a couple of goes to get what you want. Good. There we go. So that's how you'd make a curved top. It does take a little bit of, just messing around with it. I got rid of the top before. Let's see what happens. That actually looks better than the first attempt. I did it sort of this way the last time. And what I'm going to do, just to make this easier to move around, is I'm going to turn it into a component. Okay, great. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to duplicate it and turn it upside down. So let's just move, and actually I can rotate it maybe. No, it's not going to be that easy to rotate. So I'm just going to duplicate it first and then deal with rotating it. So press Control and I duplicate it as I move it. I'm moving it along the green axis. Yeah, I'm going to rotate it by going along this side. And let's see if we can do that. That looks okay. 180. Sometimes that doesn't look so good. So look, no, it hasn't rotated properly. So what I'm going to have to do on the side of this, I'm just going to have to just explode it and do what I usually do, which is to draw a box on the side. It's going to want to kind of draw along the side of that. So you have to be careful. Just deselect and just start drawing a new box. It's probably easier to do it that way. can actually draw a little lip that comes off of it actually. I'm just going to draw straight up from here. And it doesn't really matter if I do like something rectangular. Okay, so I'm going to select the whole thing again. Orbit. Just separate it out from the other one. Turn it into component. Okay. That means I can move everything at the same time and use that as an anchor to rotate it. Cool. Rotate. And now it's green. Green for go. 180. Perfect. Going to re-explode it. Going to rub out the bits I don't want, which is not the whole thing. While the whole thing is selected. Rub that out. Rub that out. Thank you, anchor. Then let's put it, all we have to do is assemble everything. So I'm going to make that a component again, just so that it's, you know, doesn't start sticking to things. Alright, okay, and all we need to do now is put everything together. I'm going to just quickly at the end of this discuss what is this. Actually, it doesn't look like a component. Let's make that a component as well. There are some limitations to this, and I'll explain those in a sec. So we'll put that on top of that. Lovely. And now this goes on top of that. And for me, this was just today, this was finally, it kind of clicked with me. This was the mystery solved of how to make on SketchUp a cube which is all rounded edges. So there we are. Okay. Now the limitations are as follows. Let's just explode the whole thing. Right, very pretty, isn't it? You cannot draw, you cannot push pull squares into this beyond this line. So you can only do this, for example. Let's just draw that a bit better. Okay, so you can push pull this bit, for example. You can push pull it from above, from below, what have you, but you cannot push pull through a curve. This will happen. Let's just draw that up. Let's just, well, let's try drawing our sort of sail going up on the blue line. Tricky. There we go. Let's try just doing a triangular shape. See if this push pulls into it. It doesn't. It just push pulls it as a solid. It doesn't really work. So you're going to have to just, you can only push pull into flat faces, in effect. You can't do into curves. So there is, you know, there's other programs out there which are free with a student license, like Fusion 360, where you can have a lot more freedom when it comes to push pulling things, or extruding and extracting material from things. But in terms of a free rudimentary program, this is really fantastic. In terms of just getting some ideas on the go. Let's just see if we can put a measurement on this. It doesn't like the it's not giving 125mm radius anymore. Probably a good idea to do sort of like a flat image of this orthographic as well, perhaps, for your radius. Okay, anyway, I hope that's been helpful, and the mystery of the curved corners is solved, hopefully. Thank you for watching.